Okay, so let me get this straight. You probably stumbled across this video on your For You page or found it on your YouTube recommended, and your black ass is wondering how the fuck to get locks because your lame ass is ugly as shit with a weak ass haircut and you want some aura, or at least you want to know how they work and what they are if you're not black. Or if you want to be a stylist and don't know about 4C hair. Well, you're in luck because today I'm about to explain to you in under 5 minutes on how to get them and the different types there are. I'm not going to waste any time and yap my ass off for no reason like these other content creators do. Locks are when your hair naps up and tangles into each other like crocheting fuzz or cotton, thus locking up. That's pretty much it. Now, there are technically only two types of main locks: defined organic locks and freeform locks. Each of these types have various methods on how to get them. Defined locks carry a more clean, sorted, and stable look to them as opposed to freeform locks where they can look nappy as shit and all over the place, which can either look good or just look bummy as hell. There's not really a better option between the two as they both have their own qualities, but more so just personal preference and what fits best. I've only ever had defined locks and also tried freeforming, but I just never had the patience and consistency for it, as it honestly takes more work to get freeforms than defined locks in my opinion. But enough on what they are. Now let's get to how to grow each one of them, which is probably why you wanted to watch this video. Defined locks. Usually the main method to getting regular locks are just twists or retwists. You or your loctician parts your hair and uses a comb to twist your hair into coils on the first initial twist. Now, if you're retwisting your hair on your own and you're like me and don't give a fuck about parting them, then skip the parting step. Also, I highly recommend using braid locking gel as it has the strongest hold out of most locking gels, although over time it will leave the most buildup. Keep in mind. Then of course you have to protect your hair via do-rags, wave caps, skull caps, or bonnets. Make sure the first few couple retwists to try not to drown your hair in water. Yes, this means early on going some time without washing your hair so your hair can lock up and bud. But that doesn't mean that there aren't ways to wash it without messing it up. You can simply use a wave cap or a tightly tied do-rag to cover your starter locks and wash your hair like you would with waves. Of course, with tighter, curled, nappier hair types, some worry about how long the dread process will take because they can't grow their hair for shit. And the special ingredient to that not a lot of people know about is to use Jamaican or regular castor oil, which boosts your hair growth by like 5 times. It helped me get long locks in under a year. I also heard rosemary works well too. Keep your hair covered when washing, but don't wash often in the starter phase. Use a lot of castor oil and be patient. You do have to throw away at least a year in the ugly stage or dreads unless you already have ridiculously long hair and can just do the 2-strand twist method. After a year or so, you now have long, luscious locks that you can now style and do different shit with. Defined locks early on are just as much maintenance as freeform, but to a certain degree, because defined locks you always have to retwist them once they lock. Freeforms are low-key the hardest to get out of the two simply because of the locking process at first. They're the hardest to get, but the easiest to maintain after they lock. You have to either use a sponge, rag, brush, or a fucking tennis racket to brush your head around in a circular motion one way to get your hair to look pointy. Not to mention you got to do this literally all day, every single day for best results. Literally, when you wake up, sponge your hair. Before you shower, sponge your hair. Before and after you eat, sponge your hair. During school, sponge your hair. During work, sponge your hair. When you drive, sponge your hair. Taking a shit, sponge your hair. Literally 24/7. Obviously using gel to hold it, but not only do you got to do this, unlike regular locks, you can never wash your hair getting freeforms as it has less hold than regular locks would, and it's not as tight. That shit must stay dry by any means possible to nap up and lock up, or else you will have to start all back over. It's like trying to get a high level with no checkpoints or save points versus defined locks where each retwist is a save point. Defined locks are kept by retwists. Freeforms aren't. You keep sponging your hair and keeping it dry every day for like 6 months in, and obviously using growth oils like mentioned earlier, and boom, you'll eventually have freeform locks, which after you reach that point, they're less maintenance than regular locks because you're meant to let them freeform and leave them be to grow. Freeforms are more ghetto as hell than regular locks, but if you like black girls or snow bunnies, then these are the styles for you, honestly. Just don't get no nasty ass high top dreads, instant locks, or 10 total dreads because you will nerf yourself and get your ass cooked alive by any black nigga that sees that shit. Trust, I know from experience. But that is dreadlocks explained on how to get them in under 5 minutes. Obviously, not only black people can have dreads, as type 1, 2, and 3 hair types can get them too, but it's just harder, or you have to use fake ass extensions, and none of them will look as good, let's be real here. I've only seen this dude get freeforms with straight ass hair, and not gonna lie, I don't know how the fuck he did it, but that shit is possible, I guess. Use this information wisely to up your attributes and pull some hoes with dreads. But that's all I gotta say. Road to 1K.